I know damn well that restarted before I got back. Actually, hearing it in sound test, it's not that bad off. It didn't even get through the full first note. Normally it does. I'm a tad late, so I decided that I was going to just start straight up. The only thing straight about me, am I right? Hi, Stinky. Come on. Come on. Let me close this so that you're not gonna smack your head on it. Come on. Up, up. Lie down. Thank you. The Rito has decided to say hi. Normally she doesn't do that. Normally it's the little one that decides to come in. Let me set up my drink and then we will... Yeah. I was debating if I wanted to do Deponia today, and I kind of decided against it. We'll just keep, like, Deponia for Mondays. I'd intended to do it Monday this week, but I really wanted to get that yap off my chest about, like... how everyone and their mother just decides that they want to blindly hate shit. For reasons that they really are factually incorrect about. I guess is the best way to put it. Which is ironic because, hey Nami! Normally it's the opposite way around, where people are freaking not wanting any criticism for a thing because they deem that as a personal attack if you dislike something that they like. And then I decided to take a little advantage of the fact that it existed, and it talked about tangentially to people, because they were who I was going to make the videos on in the first place, and decided to clickbait the fuck out of it. And I got fireworks on my freaking creator page for it. Because it got #1. It only got like freaking... What's it sitting at? 17 views? Because no one at this point remembers that I, like, do actual videos on this channel. Let me take a look. Why do you keep giving me your little paw, huh? Yeah, I'm not doing anything important. As long as you don't go flopping your tail, you can lay on the desk all you want. If I do decide that the later part of the stream is going to be working on Teber's new design, though, you are going to have to move, because you are partially in the way. I gained a fucking subscriber? From what? Am I about to look and see that the video actually has 18 views now? 43 views? Where the fuck did these views come from? What the fuck? Well, I guess I don't have an answer. I think it was at like 12 when I talked to Kraka. Actually, yeah, if I look at that, it got up to like 17 by the end of that day. Or something. That's me complaining about the fact that my name was stolen somewhere. I uploaded this on Wednesday, right? 12 views. It was at 12 views when I woke up on Wednesday. And it got up to... I think, like, 18 by the end of the day. I don't know where where we got to 43 all of a sudden. Dashboard doesn't fucking tell me where the freaking spike came from, because I did a short. $49. What the fuck? Did someone, like... What the fuck? I haven't had a video, like, suddenly take off like that in... since my Ruby days, I don't think. When was the last time I had a video that... We have some minor changes, which is my video, I believe, saying that I was rebranding my YouTube. Never Punished Edition has 142 views currently. Yeah, I don't think I've had something quite reach this point since... Problem With series? That was 4 years ago? Jesus fucking Christ. Ironic. Very ironic, considering that was what I was comparing this to. And I know for sure that there's people that are going to be disliking it just because freaking... They're expecting me to roast the fuck out of the two people involved and not be complaining about, well, the people that are probably disliking it, which are the people that hate them for absolutely no fucking reason that's reasonable. Actually, if I freaking just skip a little further, we should be into the Numi section, which we'll just freaking run that. That was a little interesting little delve there. I do kind of wonder where the fuck, like, that suddenly came from. Because I didn't advertise that video anywhere, unlike my freaking Syncope short, because I don't really give much of a shit about that video. It's there to freaking passively do shit. Passively make number go up. And as like an archive. Like most of my videos are kind of just archives of in their own right. Thank you for the Fumo. I don't have this up front, so okay, I had to make sure that there wasn't any other redeems that happened. Because that's the one thing my Mix-It-Up doesn't actually keep track of, is redeems. But yeah, like I said, I was debating on a few different things for tonight. Deponia crossed my mind to finish up the series. Doing an art stream to work on Teber's design came up. But I haven't asked Teber if they want to keep it secret or not, so... I mean, I'll probably just freaking artist fiat on that, but Teber normally doesn't care about that. We have a few adjustments that we're gonna make on it, currently. Obviously, yapping for at least part of it is what's won out for now. Because yapping is kind of the easiest thing for me to do, and it doesn't require a whole lot of resources. Which is in very, questionable supply at times. Yapping currently, we are running at 100% of our CPU usage right now. I have no idea why. Part of it's Discord's fault. Discord's being a greedy fuck as usual. If I have literally anything aside from the friends list opened, Discord will climb to, like, fucking 12% on its own. What? You keep giving me that look. Constantly wanting attention. You brat. I'm getting hair all over my goddamn tablet. But yeah, I've had a few things that have gone on over the past few days. I also wound up dealing with some behind-the-scenes stuff that involved YouTube's AdSense shit. Because for those that don't know that end of the story, many, many moons ago, before YouTube updated their partner requirements, and by that I mean added some partner requirements, because of bad actors monetizing stuff that should not be on YouTube at all. I was less than $2 away from a payout. And then that happened, and I have been reminded every month for the past, like, 3 years. Because for a while they didn't do anything, and then they said, oh, your account is being shut down, blah, 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 whatever, because it's been inactive. And then every month since then, they've been like, oh, hey, this account exists, it has money on it. If you don't do something, then X, Y, or Z will happen. And for... you. Well, I don't know what jumping down is going to do for you. You're just on her level now. You can't get out. She's blocking the door. One moment, let me move the little one so that Reed can migrate as she pleases. I don't know where you want to go. I moved her away from the door. She might still harass you if you go out there. Hey. Come on. Come on. If you're up here, she won't bug you as much. Let me put all my stuff on. Come on, jump up. Come on. You know the drill, you only get one treat. Now you can sit back down and relax for a bit. And then maybe she won't be freaking guarding the door by the time you decide that you actually want to leave. There we go. Anyway, where was I? I don't remember where I was. Right, a list of things that I could have done. Or something, I don't know. But yeah, I was debating as to what I wanted to do. And I wound up just deciding to yap for at least part of it. I'm not sure if we will transfer to anything else. There is a chance we do. My Firefox is for some reason cooking right now at 20-something%. What the fuck? I don't know. But to reference the Green Goblin mask that's been sitting in the corner in my bookmarks, I have had a few videos that have, like, been sitting around in my bookmarks that I've been either intending to watch as background noise and haven't gotten around to, or alternatively become a React Andy for a bit because it doesn't require as many resources as other things do. And that's what I mean by selling my soul, because fucking, on one hand, it's very easy. Not to react, but like very easy to cut up just whatever segment that is, and then like have a video that comes out from that. If it's not dog shit. Like, obviously, if I just wind up watching it and, like, eating or whatever, then, I don't know, I don't want to become that kind of thing. I don't even really like watching stuff on YouTube while eating, since I started streaming to YouTube as well. Which is kind of why I have, like, ancient stuff that I've been freaking sitting on. Hey, Frosty. Because I don't want to, like, watch shit that is new and then have that whole thing of, like, if I do not comment much on it or some shit, then freaking just kind of stealing views from the thing or whatever, you know? I don't know, I've had a few ideas that have been floating around in my brain pan. Related to today's short video, the Tinkerer video is going to have to be a full-length video because I didn't even get halfway through the list of Tinkerers. The Tinkerer clans, without even going into much detail on them. I didn't even get halfway through the list in the 3 minutes that I'm allowed for short form. With YouTube's new extension on that. Fucking Xbox game bar. So, we'll figure it out on what any of that's gonna wind up being. As it winds up standing currently, I don't know. Like I said, I've got a few things I could just sell my soul to in order to have quick access to, What about the song? Oh, Cabbage Magic? People always comment on freaking Cabbage Magic when it comes up for some reason. I don't know what it is about that song in particular where everyone comments on it specifically. I also did realize another thing. Today. My calendar is filling up again. We went from June 30th having only one fewer event than the entirety of July to having 3 different days that have 2 events. Because next week is Rhea's birthday and Lily's birthday and Ilia's birthday. Obviously, we already had other Eggplant's birthday. Buff's birthday is the 2nd, which is already passed, so we're not really worried about that. Camilla's birthday is on the 10th. Maggie's birthday is on the 5th. We started off this month being like, oh, it's my break month, effectively. And then the days have started to rapidly fill since I've found out other people's birthdays. I mean, it's one of those things, though, where, to a certain degree, it's not as bad, because in some cases, I'm just not really as worried about it, because friends obviously will take priority, so we'll still have, like, Rhea and Ilia, but your birthday was back in June. You can't say my birthday in the wrong month. What the fuck is the Feels Notes man even about? I've seen that around a few times. Oh, gotcha. I also haven't really drawn anything, like, particularly lewd in a while. I haven't done this month's Nasu piece, either. It's July, not June anymore. I have 2 weeks to do it, so I'm not, like, as worried, but it just dawned on me. You can't fucking ban me. This is my goddamn channel. What are you gonna do, ban Nami? Because she showed up today? Don't ban Nami. Seriously, what the fuck was with the spike and freaking people noticing that video? It's up to 55 now. What the fuck happened? My garbage little shitpost is... Well, it's okay, it's not a garbage little shitpost, but... You know, the thing that was literally just me clipping a specific portion of a stream and then uploading it. The garbage little shitpost was the Sangheili, fucking... what was it called? The Sangheili Space Project or something like that. What was it called? Me constantly opening this single page back up, though, is a good way for me to tell how, you know, feasible doing this kind of shit would be, considering it is YouTube's, I still can't fucking believe that my old Ruby shit is still freaking... like, even being viewed at all. That's not even freaking, say, doing numbers, but, like, that stuff is probably close to a decade in itself old. Which is really fucking weird to think about. (2017). Where's the particular video that people have been messing with? Jesus Christ, why did that get 2,000? There's no way people are still freaking watching that. That was like the theory that was debunked the week after it was done. Yeah, as of next year, the video that people have been going back to recently will be a year old, or a decade old. Oh, are you off to sleep? Alright, enjoy Slep. Sangheili Space Program is what it was. Less than 30 seconds of a short. That was my little shit post. Very, very goofy in its own right, I suppose. Because all it is me freaking adding the DuckTales moon theme when the entire thing drops and screws up the gravity on the thing, causing me to die. Shame that I didn't actually finish that quick jog, because levels were actually taking longer to load than it was taking me to finish those levels. I don't even remember how far I got. I think I finished Regret and then ended. Simply for the fact that it was just... I mean, performance-wise, it was also going terribly. Because we also were just, I don't know, having a very stuttery, not even 30 frames per second. I don't really want to listen to this right now. I do want to listen to this, though. So that was an experience. I do wonder how things are going to play out, though, currently. Because, again, that freaking 25% tariff has put a bit of a freaking fuck in my, in the entire new PC plan. Which, you know, is just another reason to, I don't know, maybe find a way to cheese the system. Maybe I do become a React Andy until I can afford to not be a React Andy anymore. Because shorts don't give jack shit, is the thing. Shorts are a good way to gather a bunch of views, maybe like per every 2,000 views, a single subscriber. And then, like, a little supplementary view time, depending on how long the shorts are. Long-form videos are the only things that, like, I mean, in, like, all regards, are worth anything. That does remind me, I do need to look into, someone else's recent stuff, because they recently, stopped using a voice changer. Which, again, the reason that they were using a voice changer is not, like, from their perspective. Okay, how do I put this? It's fucked up to a certain degree. Because they weren't doing it to try and freaking, like, do anything from their angle. They were doing it because they were gaslit by a bunch of IRL people into thinking that if they didn't use one, then no one would watch them. And I don't, like, exclusively watch, I guess I can just outright say who it is. I don't, like, watch Milky a whole lot, because schedule, timing, and whatnot. But when I do catch her streams, her personality is what freaking carries it and whatnot. You know, as it should be for a streamer. Granted, I guess that there's certain individuals on certain sites that it's been proven that your personality can be absolute dog ass, and as long as you say the right words in the right way, you can freaking ride that however you want. I don't need to be able to cheer on my own channel. I really just want to get rid of that pink dot, because freaking having that here is the only way that I can actually click on that in order to get rid of the goddamn pink dot. But I don't know, dude. Shit's weird. I'm just glad that, like, in Milky's case, she's able to kind of, I guess the only way I can describe it is pull a Snuffy and, like, be able to use her real voice and still, like, and be able to gain the confidence with it, rather than... Because I believe Snuffy originally, like, way back when she was still... She wasn't using a voice changer, she was putting on a voice. But, she was in the same vein as she thought that her voice would not be, accepted. And I think that they both started around the same time, so they both had, like, that sort of stigma gaslit into their brains. Where you gotta have the cutesy little voice in order to keep up with your, I should not do that. That's teetering very close into my falsetto range, and I really don't feel like fucking my voice up this early in. But, pretend that the rest of the sentence goes along with that voice. Actually, that wasn't even my falsetto range, I don't think. It was definitely flexing similar muscles, but I don't know if I can duplicate that right now. The cutesy little voice in order to put on the good face, what everyone thinks will come along with the female avatar. That actually wasn't that bad. I'm actually kind of impressed with that. I don't think that I could do an entire stream with that voice, because that would hurt like hell. Because that's not muscles that, even when I'm doing the feminine voices for, like, Toho, I don't do that voice. The closest I get to a voice like that is, where's my goblin voice at? Sort of like this, you know. Where I kind of add the nasaliness with the, with a higher pitch, so that we can have the sort of goblin-esque individuals that'll wind up stealing and, backstabbing and all that. I think the worst thing is that that wasn't even used for a goblin-esque character before. It was just used for someone that was, very abrasive. I turned that into Lyssa's voice, and then I freaking wound up using that for Marissa during, Healing Nature. Which is convenient, because Marissa wound up having a lot of talking parts. And it worked well when she was with, like, either Ha or Reimu. As opposed to Reimu, which had just the soft voice. And then, if she was talking to, her talking to Raisin would be, "So this is the problem then, right?" And then it was just slightly higher for Raisin with the, "Yeah, I guess that's what we're going to be doing now." Man, I really wish that I was that consistent with being able to do the feminine voices when I was actually voice acting the characters. I mean, I'm not gonna... These are like freaking... my own hobbyist voice acting things, so it's not like I'm... It's not like I have to do my best every time. Like, if I'm, like, in studio or freaking recording for something important, obviously then I have to be able to keep up with this voice for, like, 10, 15, maybe even an hour. With inflection and all that. God, I freaking hope that I never have one where it's just an hour straight session of me exclusively having to do a voice. I know that they, like, happen. Because, like, if it's a movie or something, they're going to freaking grind you through that so they can freaking look at to see if they need any retakes and whatnot, and, like, it's just on and on and on. I've not really ever freaking done a movie. It'd be fun to do, I think. But I've never done a movie. I don't know what kind of character, like, any of my voices would exactly do for, like, a movie. Granted, my range is pretty high. My consistency, maybe a little less so. I don't know, I like to have fun with it for the most part, though. I'm not as worried about, like, you know, having my name out there and freaking out in, like, the stars and whatnot. Freaking, I don't need to have, like, big ol' Hollywood freaking what have you. Don't need to be walking on that there red carpet with the new, fucking Your Name or whatever. I think that that's someone that actually does go into voice actors. Ghibli's under, like, for English releases, Ghibli's under Disney, so the odds of ever getting there, unless you're a standard actor already, is, like, none. Most of them that they've chosen have been, like, good actors and whatnot, and have done good jobs, like freaking Christian Bale for Howl and, what's his name? He played, Winchester in MASH, but his actor did the Spider Dude in Spirited Away, and he did a really good job. They're not like pulling Chris Pratt out here to try and play primary character. Thank God, honestly. Because he does not do good for voice acting. Like, full stop. When he's voice acting, and some argue that when he's standard acting as well, which might just be an effect of the fact that he's... The primary other things that they give him are characters that just are kind of built for the thing. Even Star-Lord, like... is different. All the MCU versions of characters are mostly different from their comic counterparts, right? So I don't know anything in regards to that off the top of my head as to where I'd sit that. But when he's voice acting, for sure, he's just Chris Pratt playing... Chris Pratt is playing Chris Pratt, who is playing a character. That's like I kind of stand by what I said, and I can say this again. I'm not gonna say it for Death Stranding 2 because I know nothing about Death Stranding 2, but Death Stranding 1 still kind of feels to me like someone in the West was told to make a game that felt Kojima rather than it being Kojima. What I've seen of 2 seems to have the DNA back. It's goofy and stupid in certain parts, in a fun way. And by that I mean there's some interesting world building, and then I've seen the guitar battle. And the guitar battle seems super fucking fun and really funny. Aside from the fact that the enemy that you're fighting there has, like, 1,000,000 health. That's my only complaint from what I saw of that, and it might have just been that the person I was watching was playing bad. Because the enemy seems very spongy for that fight. But the game seems genuinely fun. At least from what I've seen, and the story seems kinda interesting. I watched a few clips of Egg playing, or not a few clips, but I caught a few bits of stream. It's one of those things where, much like when someone's playing through Metal Gear, I at some point want to play the games, so I don't want to spoil too much. Like, obviously I know bits and pieces of Metal Gear 5 and Metal Gear 1 and Snake Eater, but I don't know enough about... I think I also know... I know a portion of Sons of the Patriots. Or is it Guns of the Patriots? It's Metal Gear 4, right? Because Metal Gear 2 Sons of Liberty. Guns of the Patriots. I should have known that based off of me realizing that 2 was Sons of Liberty. But I caught bits and pieces of NARPs, and then, like, I saw some of Eggs, and I know, like, little pieces here and there. But I plan on playing through all of those at some point. Oddly enough, that was one of the big plans for when I got the mercenary outfit done. And then my PC took a header. And it started blue screening, and it started cascade failing more regularly. And I don't know how else to describe it aside from cascade failures. But that started happening, and I realized that I would not be able to run anything beyond, like, Metal Gear 1. Maybe 2? No, there's no way in hell for 2. 3 onward for sure, no. But I don't even know if I could run Metal Gear 2 on quote-unquote official hardware. And I don't own, like... I don't think I own any of them on... anything. Yet. Aside from Metal Gear Rising, obviously, I have that for PC. We ran through that. And that was really fun. Before my PC started shitting itself constantly. And that also was the day that my legs hurt like hell the following day. Because I did 150 squats, because I did like 20 squats for every break, aside from the final one. I don't know, it was what, 8 hours? Break every hour. So, like 7 breaks. So 140 squats then? If I did 20 each? And then I did 10 more because I had to take a break in order to take care of tea and whatnot. Because we went far enough into the morning that I had to do my morning routine stuff. Before the final act. I don't even know if I'd consider it final act. And then, like, the following... I don't know if it was the following stream or the stream after, because that might have been Monday that was done, and then Tuesday would have taken Tuesday. And then we did both of the extra things. Which I'm still not a huge fan of, Wolf's side bit. And I'm pretty sure I cheesed the final boss for him. Because I feel like the way that I did that was not the way I was supposed to. Aside from doing the actual, like, stealth attack portion when I was in stealth. Either way, we in break. I will be right back. I think that the only real annoying thing about, like... Let me get rid of my beer right back. I think the only real annoying thing when it comes to stuff like that is... fucking what's-his-face from the Game Awards. I think that's the one. Where, no matter what there is, or what have you, we've gotta, every single year, lower the amount of time for everyone else. To the point where we had that infamous case, what, 2 years ago? Of Wrap It Up while Baldur's Gate, I think it was, while accepting their award, were trying to talk about how people actually, like, passed away during the production of the game. And they wanted to give some recognition to the people that had passed away during that. But they got told to wrap it up because every year, freaking... I don't even fucking know his name. I don't think Kojima knows his name either, despite the fact that every year he wants to jerk him off. The dude wants to jerk Kojima off, I should specify, but, like, every fucking year we gotta take away from everyone else because we have to extend the scene every goddamn year to a Kojima long cutscene, effectively, where the host gets down on his 2 knees, pulls down Kojima's pants, double hand, both on the shaft, full on deep throat, full on grapefruit technique on Kojima's knob. Kojima could never release another game in his life, and he would have at least one dude that would still stroke him off. Because the dude, I still have my, like, fan theory that the only reason he does it is because he wants to be put in a Kojima game. Because you don't freaking glaze and gas up someone that goddamn much unless you want something from them. There is so goddamn much that there is no donut under all that glaze that he gives him during those. Jesus Christ, dude. Kojima does very good work. Let me get that straight. I'm not saying that Kojima does not do good work. I am, however, saying that that dude has Kojima's dick so far down his throat that that cleft chin of his is Kojima's ballsack. I don't even know if the dude has a cleft chin. I'm just fucking, you know, making an analogy of some sort. It's so goddamn goofy, dude. And I'll probably wind up having this, like, pseudo-rant thing go on again when the actual Game Awards happen. I have no idea when the fuck that is. I'm not gonna be restreaming it for sure. I know that if he has any freaking say in the matter, that the Game Awards are for sure. They're in December. Like, Game of the Year is going to probably have had several post-written Death Stranding 2 awards in there. And honestly, this is one case where I'll say, unless something comes out... I don't know. There's a lot of good games this year. Claire Obscura is good. So I don't know. I might still call some bullshit. What all has come out this year that's been really good? I don't know if I'd consider Monster Hunter or Wilds as Game of the Year. I enjoy Monster Hunter, and the game is fine, but God, has its performance been dog shit, and most argue that it's still not a complete game, because if I remember correctly, it still doesn't have high rank actually in the game. But we've had some good games that have come out. I think Claire Obscura's probably going to be the front runner as far as people being able to or is probably going to be the front runner as far as giving Death Stranding 2 a run for its money for Game of the Year. I don't know if there's any other games that have really come out that really... Because we obviously have a lot of, like, good games that have come along, right? I mean, Christ knows that I have talked at length at the end of streams about how hard it is for me to find somewhere to raid into during certain... Oh, but Night Rain came out this year. Also... Okay, let me finish this thought currently. That one might actually also have a chance. So that's like 3 games that actually have a chance there. Or 2 games that have a chance to take down Death Stranding on that. Let me... Now that that thought's finished. I don't know who it was that was bitching about... I really hope that Night Rain doesn't get put as a chance for Game of the Year. I don't think a game that's basically the same game should be on there. Shut the fuck up. We already know that they're hacks in that regard. They put fucking Elden Ring's DLC as a full-on Game of the Year option last year. DLC was good, let me say. I'm not saying that it doesn't, like, deserve any recognition. But DLC, unless the DLC is, like, a whole extra game, in which case, in most cases, that's due to it being a live service thing, and it should kind of just be in its own kind of deal. But a DLC should not be an option for Game of the Year. Full stop. We're calling it game, not DLC of the year. Which I don't think that it won last year anyway. I don't think that Shadow of the Erdtree won any of the, like, full-on game things that it was nominated for. I think we have outright DLC awards. That's fine. But I don't know, dude. I don't even know why I'm freaking talking about this. Like, the Game Awards isn't for another, like, 5 months. Actually, I think 5 months to the letter, because I think that it is around, like, the 12th or something, that... The 12th, 14th, somewhere around there of December is when it happens. I don't know, I'm not opening the page up again just to look it up. I do kind of want to, like, put a positive spin on things. I do kind of want GamerSupps to do another free shipping thing, because honestly, free shipping, even compare, at least here, at least where I live, free shipping is more of a discount than their 25% discount was. Tax and shipping made it more expensive than it would have been with free shipping when they did their 25% discount. But I want them to do that because Buff's flavor came out, and it's apparently a apple peach tea, which sounds really good. And I kind of wanted to, like, try peach tea, like, just in itself, because Dia really recommended it. And I enjoy myself tea. And I haven't had a peach tea in a while. Partially because I'm in the US and I have a low sugar tolerance, so finding anything that isn't just a gallon of McDonald's sweet tea, which half cut is an option because of how much sugar's in McDonald's sweet tea, but like that level of sugar in something smaller than an average GamerSupps shaker is absurd. Which I guess, you know, kind of proves the point of that one video comparing Japanese to American dietary stuff. It's just the sheer amount of goddamn sugar that's in everything over here. Which really sucks for me, because that means that, like, there are so many things that I just cannot enjoy as much because I have such a low sugar tolerance. Unless it is, like, offset by something. And I have no idea, even at this point, what... Like, my unsweet tea, maybe, would probably be one of the only things. But, like, I can't have pastries half the time. I freaking have limits on what types of candies I can have and whatnot. Otherwise, it just makes me sick, dude. I really find that a little unfortunate to a certain degree. And then trying to get something that's, oddly enough, got less in it is more goddamn expensive. Less sugar? Less freaking preservative? Well, I guess that you mean more expensive. I don't care as much about the preservative side of things. I mean, sure, it's probably bad for me, but at least it doesn't make me physically ill. I mean, according to someone who sent me like something that they had been given, I may have been drinking dead body water for the past like couple weeks, so whatever. I don't know where it was in my state, but apparently like an entire water tower was contaminated at a purification so that was fun. I guess they needed to find something new since all the chemicals had already gone down the Mississippi by this point. All those carcinogens that had been going on for however fucking long. What's that, last year that happened? But yeah, I don't know, dude. Just the sheer absurdity of some of the shit. And I'm sure that my, like, change of diet has not helped me become more acclimated to sugar. It has, however, made it to where I don't interact much with sugar, like, as much anymore, I guess. I think that the most sugar I have in the day at this point is my single shaker of Gamer Sups. Unless I have a day like Monday, where my sugar drops, and I ate an entire goddamn tub of watermelon. Because I was just too goddamn woozy to finish work on what I was working on. And in the end, I wound up finishing Harper's hair for that, at least. Speaking of which, I didn't actually post the new art over here. I'm not a huge fan of how the fingers came out. Because I've realized that my style of fingers does not do well at angles aside from side and top. If you're looking from the front, it starts to become weird. So I had to give Harper their nails, which, you know, is nice. I think that the only person that still works well with it is Awu, because she has, like, claws, so I have the bend inward kind of nails going on. Or at least I always do her with claws. I don't think she has claws in her actual design. Let's look. I always give her, like, this fucking menacing aura for anytime I draw her. She gets the full-on, like, animal claws going on, and I give her the big ol' canines, which I haven't actually drawn a Woo since I found the new way to actually draw canines. What art was it that I did that I freaking did that new way of drawing canines? That had to be a Nasu art, right? Yeah, that's just standard fingernails. Everything's gonna freeze for a moment as everything tries to fight for resources. No claws on that, no claws on that. But these are the same, like, same base. So of course that's not gonna have claws if that doesn't have claws. Do any of her actual images that I haven't made? No? There is one other person that has done the menacing glowing eyes kind of deal. But it would appear that Awu has never been given, like, big animalistic claws like I give her. Let's take a look at where I used the newer style of... Okay, this is not loading. This is just eating up resources because YouTube doesn't want to cooperate. I draw Nasu with closed mouth a lot, so I have no idea. It wouldn't be that. That's straight on. That's mouth closed. Oh, was it the ass shot? It might have been the ass shot. I know that doesn't narrow it down at all, but the blue sky no longer exclusive one. Yeah. I don't know how it'll play out with, like, big canines, but I saw a Okayu art that kind of showed me a good way to have them come together. The top and bottom teeth. For, like, the more fang look. Which is another funny thing. Where Nasu's fangs kind of just wound up becoming canon after a while. Just because I decided to do it on a whim for the... .1.0? I don't think that 0.5 Nasu had fangs. I think that the fangs were added with 1.0, which is how I'm going to label everything now. OG Nasu is going to be .5. Half body, 0.5 because that model lasted less than a month. The model before this is now labeled as 1.0. And then New Eyes is kind of a 1.5. It's kind of a middle ground, right? And then this is 2.0. I label it in my files as Nasu 3, but this is 2.0 effectively. And then we're basically moving into a 2.5 era because I've been re-rigging everything now that I've learned how to do shit like this. Ever since I learned how to properly Or not, like, properly, but ever since I learned how to rig for V-Bridger and make it actually worthwhile having V-Bridger on. Move to this. I do wanna skip. No, we'll run the song. I'm fine with that. We'll run both of these songs. It's been a while since we ran through all of Tricky's segment, but I don't really feel like doing that right now either. But yeah, it's interesting seeing the evolution of everything, and I've been incentivized to share it with everyone as well for freaking that trend of just get the idea down, you can make it good later, which in my case is like actually kind of what it was, because 0.5 Nasu, looking back on it, is not flattering at all. .5 Nasu has a lot of line issues. The lines were not, like, straight at all. The face is lopsided because I didn't use the symmetry tool. There is so many goddamn problems with that. And it's a problem that persists into the original character sheet as well, which the original character sheet is what I turned into the original, or turned into the 1.0. But I learned about the symmetry tool by then. So at least Nasu is mostly symmetrical for 1.0, though the line work is still kind of not great. And then we wind up having New Eyes, which also has updated the line work. Which is better. It is notably better, right? But it also kind of winds up being a little, I don't want to say less expressive, but I realized how few of the shape forms actually wound up getting used. So compared to 0.5, 1.0 actually has half as many mouth shapes, or maybe even less than that. And I think that I don't think that persisted into 2.0, because I started using V-Bridger. Granted, that didn't help at all anyway, because V-Bridger didn't really take into account more shapes or anything. And then obviously with the Merc outfit, we wound up learning how to rig the mouth better, because shout out to Liz, who shared shared the video that he followed in order to learn how to do that. But then we went and updated it for V-Bridger, which is why we can now rather than just and if I don't open my mouth all the way during this, it still doesn't really, like, convey how big the difference is. Because the more subtle, like, smaller mouth movements like this were not even a thing. It was actually basically bordering on only using audio for sensing it. It was actually just like this. And I can barely use my mouth in a way that conveys it properly compared to, like, while using VBridger, because my mouth, for certain words, just naturally has to purse like that. Even like robot talking like this, where I just open and close my mouth as much as I can, still winds up having the problem because of how my mouth naturally shapes. Which is interesting, you know. The evolution of learning all this shit is very interesting. And I'd like to learn how to make things, like, more bouncy and whatnot, rather than, like, we got, like, rocks and whatnot, and we're able to move around a bit more. I don't think that being more bouncy is exactly a high priority right now. Being able to move my mouth to the left or right might be, because of how often I, like, will... Which you can't see, but, like, how often I freaking flip my, like, just scrunch my mouth to either side. That would be useful, but until new PC actually gets, like, sorted out and whatnot, and we reach a point where I could definitely deal with a more bouncy model due to the amount of resources that it would take. Until then it doesn't really matter. I mean, the extra mouth shapes on their own already kind of lead to that kind of problem. Granted, they're not as bad of a problem as... what's the word I'm looking for? Just OBS being greedy as hell. Because I don't know what they're doing in the back end, but OBS does just kind of get a shit ton of bloat. I set myself a scene that exclusively has this, which is my my shorts and videos screen. It has my background and my model. The only audio sources are desktop and microphone and auxiliary. It technically doesn't even need the desktop audio for it. But it does. Just because it's a default thing that's there. That alone, and turning off all of my, like, monitoring things, like the chat, the ad, timer, my quick access for Twitch so that I can quickly get to rating people, my Streamlabs stuff that I have set up so that I can keep track of people that follow and raid and all that. All of that shit. And also, I apologize to YouTube. Me switching over to that would have reset YouTube music. So you guys are getting sent back to the beginning of Cafe de Toho. I genuinely apologize for that. At least I think it did. Yes, you are. My apologies. But, like, removing all of this and going and I removed every single scene aside from that basically blank scene for that profile. And it still eats up 46% on average. It is OBS's problem. It is not multi-stream like I originally thought. I genuinely thought it was because I'm multi-streaming to YouTube and Twitch. I'm guessing that due to what I use. And it just kind of basically filtering the same thing anyway that it all... Because YouTube basically just gets whatever the VOD channel is. So it's all the same stuff. Which is why they get Cafe de Toho. Like the VODs do. Because I don't feel like sorting through 80 things in order to give, in order to not have YouTube bonk me for copyrighted music. On, like, yapping streams, which I'm forced to do a lot now, and art streams, which are semi-rare now because even bringing up Clip Studio tends to be a bit laggy. Which, when you're trying to do straight lines, or curved lines, or any lines, anything beyond sketch, drives you insane. Drives me insane, at least. But it's certainly something. It was certainly something to learn that it's OBS's problem, not multi-streaming. Which means congratulations, YouTube. Aside from if I deem it that I should not stream, like... Hey, Canbread, how you doing tonight? Stream if I'm doing, like, React shit. You guys are not getting left out into the wind for streams. Because me streaming to you guys does not actually cause problems. Which is also kind of nice, because that means that I don't have to worry about, like, VODs dying. For, like, streams like this where I'm not going to put it to the VOD channel. The VOD channel is pretty much exclusively for, like, long story games or what have you. I actually do want to listen to Ghost Rule. But, like, if I... Obviously, Toho long plays have been on the VOD's channel. Sound of Drop was on the VOD's channel. Which was an early delving into voice acting. And it's a good archive for me as well, because it allows me to see how much better I am at, like, VA than I was way back then. And you can tell when I have, like, dips in my freaking vocal stuff as well, which kind of sucks. Like, there's 3 streams of Mistius Izakaya where I was either sick as hell or sick as hell. I guess that in both cases I was just super fucking sick. Where my sinuses were fucked. And that was... I know for sure that that was when I was doing Morrowind, because that was when we started having certain people pop in, and they were saying that just because my sinuses were fucked due to the weather that I needed to not stream for X amount of time. The only time that I will give is... Okay, I'll give 2. Neither of which were things that actually occurred. If people had complained about me doing Rolling Horizons the day after the 12 hours of voice acting for Sound of Drops finale, because I was fucking stupid, and that was at the end of 3 days of me doing Sound of Drop as well, and those were the 2 paths where I had to do this voice for a lot of it, because our friend was constantly going with it, and I think I also had this voice going on for a lot of it because our little sister was part of it. Those 2 voices are, like, the roughest on me. And obviously those were less refined, so the muscles weren't built up for either of those voices. I think that this voice is probably the worst one, though, because I have to kind of put a little gravelly, nasally bit on it. So it gets right into the, what's the word for it? Gets right up into the tonsils. It really fucks me up sometimes. I don't know what, like, we'll run into next that will have voice acting, like, lack of voice acting, I guess. Is this literally the same song that we just freaking heard a moment ago? Unknown album, so it might be. That might be freaking Girl DM's cover of Dan to Dan. That's next. That was next before I reshuffled. But yeah, I don't know. I enjoy our voice acting nights. If I could, I mean, there's part of it's freaking just not having people to play certain games with that have so many voices that, and are exclusively visual novels, effectively. You know, the whole Monster Prom series, I guess, is like the big VTuber one to do. But we don't have, I don't really have that. When we ran it last time, it was me, Tebber, and Sarah. But Sarah is constantly working now. Which, good on her, honestly. Nice that she's able to, like, enjoy her work and whatnot, for the most part. But it does kind of put a little hamper into, like, doing anything beyond just me and Tepper. Granted, at the same time, I mean, nice. Granted, at the same time, we wind up having, you know, I can barely do anything for Sibling Saturdays, which means that collabs in general would be on its own. Tebber's schedule is packed with work 90% of the time. They have their fighting games on Sunday. We sometimes have Sibling Saturday on Saturdays. If we're not dead after D&D, and those are literally Tebra's only 2 days. So, I don't know, dude. It's, certainly something. And it puts us into a bit of a hole as far as being able to plan stuff like that. And then, like, I don't know. My options outside of that are limited. I mean, the only other person I really did stuff with, and I'm not going to call it a collab because Mark's not a streamer, but like Mark's owned by the government currently and unavailable for much outside of our anime nights, which I'm still not really joining in for because they're doing JoJo and they're so far into JoJo that I don't know. They keep saying that it's disconnected from one part to the next, but I just want to start from the start, if so. It's not like Futurama, I guess, is the other thing that I kind of joined someone midway through. Like, I've been watching Futurama with Ray, whenever I'm on VRC. Like, I can drop it, and I can rejoin it at any point in time. She can watch it as much as she wants. And then I can jump in whenever, because the episodes, aside from a little bit of character development in, like, 1 or 2 characters, the episodes are kind of just their own thing, regardless. So it is what it is. JoJo has the thing of where there's a disconnect between, like, each season. As far as I know, they're unrelated. Joining in mid-season is not going to work anyway. And who knows, maybe it's a Fire Emblem situation where I get told, oh, it's... One person says they're not connected at all, and then another person goes, well, actually, they're not connected, aside from these 3 games, which are, and then this one takes place in the middle of this game, and then this one's got a flashback sequence that you only really know what's going on if you played this game, and then this one has a flash forward that goes into this game because you're interacting with people that are in this game and during the time skip that takes place during this game. And then this one here connects to this one via this singular character, and then it's like, is it connected or not? And then they keep, anytime that's brought up, the people involved are like, well, we told you it's not connected. And then, like, then they'll say, oh, but it is in these, like, particular spots. But it's not connected. But it is. But it's not. That's like, you're not helping your case, dude. Just let me not give a shit about the game series, then. At least when it comes to Final Fantasy, most of the connection between the games is references, unless they are directly tied to them. Like, Final Fantasy X and Final Fantasy X-2 have connections because they're the same game. Final Fantasy VII and Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core, I think is what it's called. They have connections because they're related to each other. There's obviously, like, recurring characters in name that have similar roles, but aside from them being a reference to the previous character, like Sid, or, what are the two? Wedge and Biggs. They're like characters that show up in like all the games, right? Asterisk. They have different roles in pretty much all of them, aside from like same basic we're your tech guy kind of deal, or we're comic relief or whatever. But aside from, like, they're different characters aside from name, effectively. They just fit the same cutout as far as, like, their mechanical role in the story. But yeah. One of these days I'll go through, like, all the Final Fantasies. I actually do have Final Fantasy 1 thanks to Family Share now. I've also, I'd also like to get back to Final Fantasy 14, but that's not something I can stream with my PC. I do want to go back to... We'll go back to here. I'm gonna hit add and hit the bathroom because we're only like 2 minutes out from that. And I also need to refill my drink because sporadic voice acting bullshittery throughout all that means that my voice has kind of gotten a little bit of the effect of that. Alright. I do gotta say, though, I'm kinda happy that today's been so kinda relaxed, you know? I half expected to freaking get pestered again by some rando freaking asking me 30 fucking questions and borderline doxing themselves. Off of a fucking burner account. Kinda makes me want... With the burner account taken into account, I'm wondering if they were freaking trying to sneakily freaking dox someone else. Maybe I should delete Tuesday's VOD or something like that. They only gave like a first and last name and like no other freaking major info. That's still more than I feel like people should just leave out on the internet like that, you know? I don't know. All I know is that freaking... It is nearly a Friday, which means that I gotta figure out what we're gonna fuck around and find out with tomorrow. That's if I don't wind up hanging out with, some people. Because I very well could hang out, with, like, Frosty or something. Speaking of, let me check if... Because I did see someone say that they were going to do Schedule 1. I think it was Mega? Ladon, specifically. Was it Mega? Where the fuck is Mega's server in this? Hello? Server Doku? Oh, it's in this folder. But yeah, freaking... Frosty and I were doing some Schedule 1 the other day, or not the other day, obviously not the other day, but a bit back. Because we'd been planning to, but we haven't gone back to it in a hot minute. And I kind of want to. At least when, especially when the new update comes out. Yeah, it was Megalodon that was Schedule 1. Because they're adding a rival cartel in the next update, I think. At least it was in the discussion. It was what was voted for. I don't know if it'll be next update, but it's upcoming. So we'll figure out from there. I don't know when that'll be. They try to do monthly updates, I think, and I don't remember when the last update was, so who knows? I was debating on doing a long, like, not subathon, obviously, because I literally cannot. Because my computer running overnight would actually, especially during fucking summer, would cook it. But like doing a sort of goal-oriented marathon, not like for subs or anything, but like I try and do a specific thing, and then stream every day until I succeed at it, or until I lose my sanity. There's also a chance at that, depending on what I were to do. Because, I mean, if my goal's something like defeat an unaltered AI in Empire Earth multiplayer, get fucked, dude. I mean, currently, even, even trying to play the campaign for it is, like, impossible, last I checked. Or at least it was impossible to do it while streaming. I kind of have to take advice from, like, desktop or... Who else was it that was talking that day? Was it Kevin? I'm probably VM it. And if I VM it, I'll probably just use the disk. Which in its own right is kind of a pain in the dick, because that means I don't have difficulties. Which means I'm going to be on normal regardless. Eee. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. But I mean, I got a half dozen RTS games that I started that I didn't continue because I started them while I was on my garbage internet, because my logic was less moving parts means that maybe you guys will get more than 3 frames. I don't know how well that worked. I don't know what any of my old freaking streams will look like. Because I don't think I have anything pre VTuber debut saved anymore. I don't think I had it saved at all, come to think of it, but... Because Sir You Are Being Hunted was like my first stream on New Internet, I believe. Right, I wouldn't have any VODs from back then. Anyway, I didn't get affiliate until after better internet because I was streaming so infrequently. And most of what I was streaming was stuff that just what I thought my internet could handle. A lot of art. A lot is a strong word again. Freaking not a whole lot of streaming going on in general, so... But we play it how we play it, I guess. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. But that's just kind of how it be at times. My blood sugar did start to drop a bit though, but I did watermelon. I would like to start doing, like I said before, I would like to start doing more frequently long-form videos as well as the short-form stuff. The only long-form I really have in my mind right now everything. The only long form I have in my mind right now is the Tinkerer video. Because I think that, well, like I said, doing it not long form is actually impossible. Unless I just exclusively give names, maybe. But then what's the point? We don't know anything about them. We don't know why they're named that. We don't know what they do. Because they're like different across the board. Some of them wind up, you know, doing genetics, some of them wind up doing bionics, some of them are exclusively large-scale, like, exoskeletons or large vehicles or what have you. That's just kind of how it be, you know? I do kind of want to also, like, start fleshing out some certain other things. I could do shorts on some of the, wildlife as well. That's what I'm looking for. Because we should do another creature design stream. We haven't done one of those in a long time. I think that it was the monkey. That was the last one that we did. The Squelch Toads were before that. I think that's the only other real one we did. I mean, I started working on, like, the family. But then I wound up kind of dropping off of that for a bit. Because I could not for the life of me get the mother to look anything reasonably good. So who knows? Sorry about freaking drifting off brain-wise for a bit there. I was looking at something. I had to look something up. Out of my morbid curiosity of fly-on-the-wall-isms. I'm kind of enjoying my new schedule. Rather than trying to figure out what I'm going to do every single day, I wind up having designated stuff for each day. I don't have to, you know, mentally try and balance what I'm working out. I don't have to mentally go, do I work on art? Or do I work on videos and wind up doing neither because I'm stun locked? I don't go, okay, well, I'm going to stream this day. Depending on what I stream means that I do or don't do X, Y, or Z. I mean, my streaming schedule has kind of stayed the same, so, like, from an outside perspective, it's probably about the same. But for me, it's improved considerably, you know? And then obviously, like, there's a little bit of a wrench thrown in for, like, special events, holidays, XYZ. Because if I'm gone all day, I can't stream that day. So, you know, there's still a few things that kind of shift things around. But then on those days I can still work on art and whatnot. Like, if art's scheduled for a day, then I still do that. I still work out on those days. Unless I'm fucking dying. Which I do need to catch up on a bit of my working out because I was dying yesterday due to pre-storm heat. Which means I combine 2 days into 1 day, but my workouts aren't intense enough to where that's a huge, huge problem. It's just, you know, oh no, I've got to do 2 days instead of 1 day. The only downside is I think that both of these are core workout days in a row. Yes. No. 1 core workout, 1... Okay, never mind. I'm fine. Also, me freaking having, like, X amount of gap between each one of them means that I don't wind up stopping for ages because of injuries, or not injuries, but, like, wear. Because obviously squats, if I do squats, like, every day for, like, 3 days... my knee's going to be not happy with me because of it being a fucked up. So it's kind of nice. And if I really feel like swapping something out, like if I don't feel like doing a short form video and I would rather practice art, then I still do that, you know? I just have something set there, so if so I don't get stun locked in a, ooh, what do I do, 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 what do I do? And then my productivity just nosedives because if I choice paralysis myself and nothing gets done, then nothing gets done. And rather than choosing the wrong option, I have chosen neither option, and it is the worst outcome. But what do you do, you know? And then sometimes I take these extra days to like do cleanup or whatnot. Like if I decide that I'm going to take like tomorrow or Saturday off, then that becomes a cleanup day, right? For my pile of tabs or reorganizing certain things to take up the time that would have been put to stream before I actually do my like practice and I mean, it's mostly practice, I suppose. That's my primary other thing that I do aside from that. I also work more on certain things depending on what events are coming up. Like this weekend is going to have... If I can click on the right tab. That's next month. I need this month. This weekend will be a chunk of art. Got Rhea's birthday, we got Lily's birthday, got Ilya's birthday. I'm not big enough as an artist to... I have kind of made an executive decision due to how Twitter winds up working. Where if there's like a big thing going on, I'm excluding 3 particular individuals. You know, the 3 that inspired me to get into VTubing and whatnot. That being Joopy, Dia, and Rayora. But excluding them, I don't really... Unless I really feel like doing their character, I'm not going to like draw them on birthdays or anniversaries or what have you. Because I don't have the momentum in order to freaking put myself up there, and I think Twitter's been suppressing me. Again. Because I'll upload to like an art tag and then not see myself at all in there. Probably partially because of me starting to unfollow a bunch of people because of, they'll just... Half of them are inactive, to be honest. Like, I think that out of the 400 people that I unfollowed, 350 of them were... just dead accounts. Which is a little unfortunate, I suppose. Especially considering some of them were, like... When I say dead, I mean... they had passed away in certain cases. Which was genuinely kind of depressing, and I don't know if that was more depressing or people that just disappeared without a trace. Like, there was one person that a year and a half ago, their last tweet was, "I'll get back to working on art, I promise." Or I'll get back to drawing soon, I promise, or something like that. I don't know. It was kind of sad to see. I do need to, I need to continue cleaning up mine. But I also need to clean up my... I don't know how to describe it. My little pocket here. Where I put a bunch of people that, are active, and I haven't seen much of them in a while. So I didn't want to unfollow them, but I also wanted to set them off to the side while I was scrolling in order to, like, catch up on some of their artworks or what have you. So I don't know. It is certainly a thing. And I just kinda, to a certain degree, hope that, like, those that I didn't get an actual answer as to what happened to them are okay. I mean, I may know the answer, like, in my heart of hearts, I suppose, but, you know, always a hope. Like, there was a really good Toho artist who, I found out, like, who did, like, last post a work in progress on Pixiv, and I'm like, alright, has anyone heard from them recently? And I looked around and it turned out that they were Russian and they disappeared right before Wave 2 of that whole thing going on. So, I don't know. I hope that they're okay, but I don't know, you know. And it's kind of sad in its own way. I don't even know why I'm saying in its own way. It's just kind of sad, just like the idea that really could just be gone. And there'll never be any closure from it. Because the last message is, you know, it's like that one, what is the Steam message? Things are bad here, and getting worse. I'll see you next week or something, or see you tomorrow or something. Let me see if I can find it. No, it's just a bunch of results of, people complaining about Steam messages getting worse. So I don't know. And then, like, you know, all that happens and then laughs on the line 6 years ago or something like that, and it's like, fuck, dude. I don't know. Not that I suppose that I'll, like, ever get an answer anyway, because due to me having such a bloated following list, I, with few exceptions, have, for my mental purposes, not my mental purposes, but like, I decide that I'm going to unfollow if there is a certain time limit since their last post. Like, if they haven't posted at all in 2 years, then I just go. I have a micro folder in my private Discord where I've put certain ones that stand out as I really want to check back periodically to see if anything's changed. But I don't know. I know the answer to a certain degree, I guess. It's just me being hopeful. I do wish that there was an easy way to, like, clean up, but at the same time, there's also certain points where it's like, what the fuck do we... What is the qualification on some of these automated things? Like, do I have a certain amount of time since they last posted, or freaking do you automatically do it based off of them not having posted in a certain amount of time? And if it's automated, then you could just wind up unfollowing things that I don't want to unfollow. Like, if it's an animation artist, they could just have disappeared from the internet in their entirety. Or they could be working on a project. Like, I know a few that I followed that they will have, like, a month or two where they just don't post anything because they're working on animations. Because they do very good, very high quality animations. And there's a difference between, like, that and someone who has abandoned Twitter in its entirety, or, like, hopped sites. And that's also a thing that, like, I kinda have a difference in, to a certain degree, is if they have a Blue Sky, I'll follow them on there. I don't follow them on Instagram if they have that. most of the time they have a Pixiv, so at least I can do that, but my hatred for Instagram is so goddamn strong that no matter how good of an artist you are, I'm not following you on there. Especially because, like, Instagram is such a hotbed for stolen goddamn content and art. It's almost as bad as TikTok for stolen content, and it is arguably worse than Twitter for stolen art. It might even be worse than DeviantArt. But that's a strong accusation. And I'm not even talking about the AI shit from DeviantArt. I mean, like, there are entire accounts that are just, I stole this artwork from major artists. Because I found one person that was, like, just stealing Slugbox's art, cutting out the background, and then claiming it as their own. They were like making it sticker style PNGs with a little bit of white on the edges, but like... And then they'd staple their freaking username to the negative space, and I'm like, you could at least wait until the art's like a week old before you fucking steal it, dude. And DeviantArt does not give a shit. I think I don't know if I deleted my DeviantArt or not. I mean, there's no point in me having it anymore. Most everyone that I followed on there doesn't really use it anymore because of how prevalent the AI flood is. Like, sure, you post like once a week or something onto there. Johnny over there has pumped out fucking 300 images in that time. And DeviantArt does not even hide the fact that they're going to prioritize him because, surprise, they don't care about the actual artists anymore. They freaking... He doesn't care that he's only getting paid in freaking Deviant bucks or whatever the fuck they're called. So I don't know, dude. What do you do? I mean, not use the site is what the answer is. And that's kind of what I've been doing, is just not using the site anymore. I need to get better at, like, actually using my Pixiv. I only really use it for Toho days anymore, but, like, I need to upload stuff aside from that, but I don't know how to use the tags on there properly without, like, having to go through 7 stages of trying to figure out what each of the tags is. Especially considering there's such insane tags on, like, Pixiv that are, like, entire sentences. Like, ask I want to snuggle, or ask that I... Like, there's basically variants of that. Like, pick a body part, I want to, and then pick a verb. Snuggle, breed, bury my face in, something like that. And that's just, like, without taking into account that there's, like, also, like, color-specific ones. I mean, that's the easy ones, right? I just mark it with purple or freaking white hair or, like, whatnot. Or, like, in the case of, like, descriptors like cyborg, cybernetic, blah blah blah. That's the easy part.
But Pixiv's also, like, really user-friendly as far as, like, having an archive. And they're not, like, snooty assholes. ArtStation is, like, not great at all.
Even if you ignore, like, their rule against, like, anime art. They have, like, minimum quality standards, minimum... It's like a job application to get, like, to have an account on ArtStation. How many different places have you had your work shown? How many productions have you been a part of? Do you have the copyright for any of your works anymore? How much money have you made off of your art? Do you pass our fan bases on other sites check that it doesn't matter because we don't let anyone actually make an account unless they meet certain standards? I think ArtStation tries to be LinkedIn, though, so, I mean, I guess it checks out. Like the artist LinkedIn. I don't know. I have a spot for, like, ArtStations, but... honestly, I don't know what happened, but, like, a bunch of people did delete their ArtStations, and I have no idea why. I had a bunch of them bookmarked on my Chrome, which, in the end, wound up being moved over to Brave, because, Jesus fucking Christ, I swear, the biggest advert for using any competitor, in most cases, is the company themselves. Oh, I'm sorry, you wanted to use uBlock? I'm sorry, we're not going to support that anymore because it gets around all our bullshit for trying to server-side ads on YouTube. Fine. I'll just use a service that allows it then. Bitch. It's so goofy, dude. Either way. I am quite hungry, and I have had my pile of venting And we are nearing midnight, so this will give me time to get myself a couple sandwiches. And then eat around midnight, and we'll be... good for the rest of the night. You know, we'll right into Amaya. Because it's a little topical, because Mark recently was talking to someone who had a tag from Amaya's Discord. It's topical to me, anyway. And Amaya is like tangentially related to several portions of the group region. Actually, I want to go back. Do I have anything on my spiel that I want to go through? No real announcements. Tomorrow is Friday. FAFO Friday. Who knows what we'll do? I don't even know what I'll do on Friday. It's literally marked as fuck around and find out. We may just jump between games, for all I know. I'll have a good time. Either way. Now we just gotta wait for 5 years while I load into the actual stream that I'm trying to raid into. Because Twitch has a cascading loading system. Player literally broke as I was loading it. I can already feel my energy draining as I freaking reach this point. But here's the socials. You can join the Discord or follow me on Blue Sky. We're on Twitter if you want to keep up to date on things such as when I go live, what I'm going live with, and art, like you see in the corner. There's also my card in that covers things like my commission info, my VGen, all that shit. And I think that's all I got. I've been keeping up to date on those things quite well, so you should actually be able to keep up when it comes to that stuff. And I'm currently waiting for everything to stop freezing. Well, hopefully my mobile actually keeps up with this. That's gonna be it for me tonight, though. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for the follows, raids, all that good jazz. And thanks for sticking around and listening to me just yap and yap and yap. I'm gonna get food, and I'll see you guys tomorrow if all goes to plan. Love y'all. Bye.